This black watercolor paper gave me so much inspiration just by its texture that I have to share this with you one more time. In my last video I made these dog Christmas cards. And now I am exploring the paper once more and creating this landscape. Stay tuned. Hello Gelli fans. Today I'm continuing using the Van Gogh watercolor paper in black, as I was so fascinated when I worked out the dog Christmas card prints in the last video. I have to show you how my dog landscapes came out. I am working with the golden open acrylics again, as I find they are a good alternative to the messy etching inks, but you can use any other acrylic color. I happen to be madly in love with this quinacridone nickelazo gold color, but it's not a gold really, it is a kind of a rusty orange color. This is a bandage that I put on to create some extra texture, the golden open color being so super fine that it really shows the textures well. Spitting out just a few water drops out of the spray bottle, find yourself an adjustable nozzle for that if you can. Let it dry a bit, then pick up the water drops with a tissue. I am printing this one actually on a white watercolor paper. I just left it in this video because the ghost print of this one goes on the black paper. These light orange prints will also fill one of my next videos. Picking up the ghost print with a white color and printing it on this fabulous, did I say that before? Black watercolor paper by Van Gogh. And oh, I gotta put some feathers on here. I am a confessing feather printing addict. Taking excess off and creating patterns with the silk paper here. It's much like a soft tissue paper. It gives similar effects as the foil, but you can lift it up earlier and it takes more color up, and you don't use so much plastic. I'm using a matte board here for the frame of the print, as I wanted to have a clear rim. The other gel plate is losing its shape already, and this is a good way to get straight rectangular prints. Now, isn't that gorgeous? I can see those rocks in the foreground and more of a landscape in the background, giving me also indications of fields or something. And the whole thing is framed by some decalcomania that happened here. Sometimes I can't believe what the colors give me. And you know what's coming now. The working out with colored pencils and fineliners. I am enhancing the contrast in the decalcomania structures with a fineliner first, but I don't like the sheen it leaves. You can't even see the marks here because it is reflecting my studio light. So I am going over all these again with a black pencil. And I'm thinking, what have I gotten myself into again? There is thousands of tiny openings I have to darken. But I can't help it. I have to work out what I see. Now switching to pencils, strengthening the outlines of the landscape marks. Placing some highlights of the rocks on with an ivory colored pencil. I am following the paper structure here and getting very detailed. That adds to the kind of screen print feel I have here. I don't know what these two rays are yet. Enhancing more structures in the background. As a change for the foreground, I want to have another highlight color than the ivory, but I will whiten that again later. Shadows and light, shadows and light. That's really what it's all about. In the back I am making a mix of trees, bushes and more rocks. I am filling in some stronger colors, greens in the foreground, bluer greens, and then blues the further I go back. In the background here I am not following every single line of the paper, but using very light pressure so that the marks only scratch the hills of the paper. That way they don't give too much detail, which is better for the background, but they do preserve the paper structure a bit. Now don't tell me there is a cute little elephant instead of a rocky landscape there. There is not. And a few thousand decalcomania black holes more. Several hours later, my fingers hurt. I'm giving the decalcomania frame a black outline and white highlights. And finally lighting up a little bit the horizon line. And that's it. I had fun with this one. Tell me what you think in the comments. And here is a little preview of the next video. Am I creating trees in a forest? Or a strange dog? Or just rocks and roots? Or feathers? Or all of them? See you next week.